Hi, my name is Sam Harris. I'm a behavior analyst. I wanted to throw out a couple of ideas today about what to do if you are in a situation where you are trying to get ABA service from somebody you're helping and you're stuck. You can't get the service provided. I'll throw out some ideas based on families that I've worked with or group homes that I've worked with. Really, the best person to make a video like this, the most informed person, is a case manager because they know how to bring all these resources together. But I'll give you what I've got. You might have either an adult or an adolescence where you're having trouble getting service. Maybe it's because of their age. It gets tough getting services past 18, and many agencies just won't serve teenagers at all. Maybe it's location. You're not in a major city. If you're outside of a major city in the United States, it's going to be tough for you to locate service. Maybe a diagnosis, an autism diagnosis does make it easier to get service based on the way laws are written. But some diagnoses will actually frighten agencies away. Some of them will look at like an ODD diagnosis, schizophrenia diagnosis, and they'll be afraid to deal with the client, unfortunately. So it's kind of a mixed bag what diagnosis you have. Behaviors can make it difficult. Some agencies have a policy they won't deal with physical aggression. Some of them don't feel up to the task if they have to face sexually inappropriate behavior or fecal smearing or something like that. And so what happens is you, as the caregiver, can be left in a place where you need ABA support, you need behavioral support for somebody, and you haven't got it. And you feel stuck, and that's a tough place to be. And this is not just frustrating to you; it's also frustrating to we who are providers, because we're looking at a situation where you've got an individual in need who could benefit, and it's not coming together. The system is not bringing this together for them. It's tough. So some suggestions I have. One is engage your case manager. A good case manager can do wonders, man. They can make things happen. They can move things, and I love watching them work on what they're able to make happen. A not as good case manager, things might get stuck and stay there. The best is if you can get, if you already have maybe for your case, a high needs case manager, because they're used to dealing with complex cases and they're pretty good at this. So it's good when you see a high needs case manager involved in a case. Let's say that they sent out the referrals, they went out to a bunch of agencies, nothing. You hear no answer at all back. You can contact those agencies yourself. You can just ask the case manager, can you give me a list of agencies? You can Google agencies in your area, and you can call them yourself and say, hey, here's my situation. Can you guys help? It's helpful because when a call is put out for service, it's just a general email to many, many people. Maybe some of them don't even get read. Whereas if you're on the phone with a human being, maybe you can connect with somebody who wants to help and wants to understand your situation. So you got a better chance. Now, if you call agencies, you're just going down the list calling people, the answer is still mostly going to be no. But at least you have a chance. And the truth is, if you're in a situation where you're serving somebody who needs services and hasn't gotten them, you're used to hearing no. So as long as you're willing to hear it some more, you might get a chance of hearing a yes. Okay, so connect the agencies yourself. You can appeal to the insurance company. You know, if they have refused ABA services, you can appeal to them. The best person in that case is insurance agencies will generally have like a behavior health case manager. That's a clinician, a behavior analyst, a psychologist, whatever. And so this person kind of oversees the processes and understands the ins and outs of the behavior health needs. So if you can get the name of that person in an insurance company, sometimes they can be of help and they can help you get past the next step. You can also go back to insurance companies and say, okay, if you're not going to give us ABA service, like the hours that were requested, how about just caregiver training? Because a lot of times insurance companies, it's a highly productive way to serve individuals, is to give training to caregivers. So sometimes they'll approve that caregiver training. You can ask. I suppose, a big change, I've had families that when they're unable to get service, they move. Like best case scenario, you'll get a dad who is an IT remote worker. He can live anywhere, and I've had that happen where they just move to a mega city so that they could get service. But for every one of those cases, there's a bunch more people like, dad's a miner. He works in a giant hole in the ground in the middle of nowhere. He can't relocate. You're stuck there. So a lot of us, of course, are in situations where we're not mobile. We can't relocate. That's not part of the choice. But consider it if it's an option for you, if it's possible for you. You can, the ideal situation is if you get a behavior analyst sitting there in the living room. That's best. But if that can't happen for some reason, consider remote ABA. There's a couple of ways to do that. One is that you will do live training like this, with a person talking to a behavior analyst working through the case and conduct multiple training sessions. Another way is the individual providing service, a caregiver. They put just a microphone in their ear, and you've got a live camera, and the behavior analyst on the other end can see what's going on and in real time feed you guidance. So you can do training, or you can do actual service remotely with ABA. This allows you, if you were doing it remotely, to expand your search for people who can help you out of state. I mean, they could be on the other side of the country if it's remote. Occasionally there's some issue with insurance companies that require certain types of licensing or state licenses, but many times there isn't. So consider it. If you could look for somebody to help you remotely, you've got more behavior analysts in the country to choose from. And then if companies, let's say a local ABA agency has refused you, they say, no, we're not going to send anybody in the home to do that. But if you call them back and go, how about remote ABA? Now they might be willing to consider it. Maybe they didn't have the manpower or the RBTs or whatever, but if you're asking them for remote help, maybe. So again, go ahead and call them. The worst that's going to happen is they're going to say no again. And you're probably used to saying no if you have had to engage the system in helping people and bringing things together. You know what that feels like. So just be willing to hear no and go ahead and ask. Let's say none of this works. Like you're just stuck in a situation where you've got an individual who needs behavioral health, and you can't get anybody to serve you in any context. In this case, my best suggestion is educate yourself in ABA, Applied Behavior Analysis. There are a lot of good books, videos, courses, and it's true, a lot of them are on like postgraduate level where you've got to have a lot of background to understand them. Many of them are not. Many of them are laymen. You'll see so many books written on ABA for teachers, for parents, for caregivers, things like that. A lot of this good quality material. So if you start to go into that, you'll pick up a lot yourself. I mean, obviously, if you're in a situation as a parent or a caregiver, you're already pretty experienced in dealing with people with special needs and behavioral needs. So if you go looking for this ABA material, you're going to pick it up and you're going to benefit from it. It is hard work. You having to go seek this out, but you will benefit, and the person you're trying to help will benefit. So I can recommend that too. The truth is, again, if you're already at this point, trying to help somebody and looking for service and bring things together, you're used to the hard work that requires. So yeah, it is tough to go out and read a bunch of books or watch videos. There's good quality videos too, but you're used to the hard work, and if it can help them, yeah, I would recommend do that. So it's a tough place to be when you're doing your best to bring service together and you're having a hard time. I hope that for the sake of the person you're helping, you can bring it together. In the meantime, God bless.